Hey folks, this is my podcast. My message is to black men. Please like, subscribe, share. We're going to be raising some pretty important issues here. As many of you know, most of you probably do know, Donda Academy, DONDA, is a private, non-accredited academy established by Kanye West, or the artist formerly known as Kanye West, Ye, Y-E-E. He now refers to himself as Ye, Y-E. He named this school after his mother. He and his mother were quite close. And by the way, his mother had a doctorate. I'm not sure if it was in education or what, but she was a single mother, and she raised that boy, and she got her doctorate as well. I'm not sure what the situation is with Kanye and his father, but that's not the issue. The issue is Donda Academy, and I started getting interested in doing some research on Donda after it was those young people, their school's basketball team was unjustifiably, inexcusably attacked by Morehouse College. And yes, I'm talking about Morehouse College in Georgia. That is one of the most prestigious HBCUs in the country. And they attacked Donda Academy, and they attacked those young people. What it was is that Morehouse was hosting a basketball tournament, and of course, Donda Academy apparently have an invitation to go there. Many of you parents who have kids on football teams, basketball teams, tennis, track and field, you know how excited young people get when they have the opportunity to travel. Hey, we're going to travel. We're going to compete. Get involved in some little rivalries where they prepare, they practice, they do drills. They get really excited about it. And then Morehouse says, no, we're going to say to Donda, you can't come out. I'm going to say to these young people, you can't come out. We're going to say to these black youth, you can't come out. We rescinded our invitation because of what the founder of the school said. I can get them attacking Kanye. You want to attack Kanye, that's your business. You want to embrace Kanye, that's your business. You want to debate Kanye back and forth, that's your business. What the heck does that have to do with these young people? What? Are you serious? What? How is it an HBCU could just be so casual in accepting black youth as collateral, as acceptable collateral damage? You know what collateral damage is. You go attack the enemy's military, and unfortunately, the collateral damage might be, some civilians who you were not targeting got killed. You know darn good and well, Morehouse, you are going after those kids. You didn't have to rescind that invitation. When you rescinded that invitation, you attacked those youth. What motivated you to do that? Or who motivated you to do that? What did they say to you that would cause for you to have such fear that you would attack those young people? That's a serious question. But that's a question for Morehouse College. I doubt very seriously if Morehouse gives a flip about my opinion about anything. But I am saying this to black men throughout the United States of America. We need to have a public, intense, ongoing public discussion about this. What is happening to us as men, as black men, when we would attack or allow folks to attack our young people in that way, and we don't say anything about it? We can't really necessarily prevent somebody from a company or some political organization from attacking us or attacking our young people, but we can control our response, and our response should have been swift and strong. Back up. Those kids had nothing to do with this. They're not responsible for this. They should not be punished. That's what we should have said to those who might have motivated Morehouse. And we definitely should put Morehouse College up for, intense scrutiny and criticism. Brothers, what were you thinking? They were young people. What do they got to do with it? Here's the second thing I think that needs to be raised. Black folk in the United States, we have always, since we hit these shores, we have always been very creative and innovative and courageous in our efforts to pursue education. We have really gone bent over backwards. I mean, just made tremendous sacrifices and achieved some things that are really, really remarkable when it comes to building institutions, building schools, basically. And I think we need to have more public discussion about that. We need to have more of our black intellectual, what I call thought leaders, on that. We have a rich history there. And sometimes that history is filled with a lot of sacrifices and loss of life and blood. Because there are some folks out there, they don't want us to be educated. They don't want us to say, well, you know what? I don't quite want to go along with this orthodox thinking or orthodox thinking on this subject. I'm going to go check this out over here. And I want to share that with my children. Folks, again, we can't control what other people, companies, corporations do to us. But we can control how our response is when they attack the way some groups, this group, that black group, this black family, that black family might decide to educate our children. And I think part of this whole attack on Donda Academy, that's what's going on there. And we need, as black men, we need to stand up and defend them. This is not about defending Kanye West, and it's definitely not about attacking Kanye West. You want to defend Kanye West, that's your business. You want to defend him, that's your business. But as black men, my issue is, and I have to be clear on this because there are some who are going to twist my objective. We have to be about, whoa, wait a minute. We got to start talking about alternative ways to educate our young people. Because all the research I've done and some of the research my assistant has done, it's not looking good. It hasn't been looking good for years and years and years. It just hasn't been. And, public schools, whether it be in Louisville, Chicago, Atlanta, whatever, constantly complaining our black youth are not, they're not graduating at the rate they should be. They're disproportionately over suspended. They're disproportionately placed in special education classes. Something's going on here. So, my attitude is that, hey, of course we should try to work with public school systems and saying, we got to work this out. But we also, as a people, black men should be saying, look, there are other ways we can educate our children. Homeschooling collectives, sending them to independent academies, Catholic schools, starting our own schools. We have a long history of doing that as black folk. Black men have been doing that for the longest time. Dr. Umar Johnson, my brother, the late Booker T. Washington. Oh, it just goes on and on and on. So I think we need to be talking about those alternatives more and more. And then, black men, beyond talking about it, beyond doing the research and talking about it, we need to be talking about establishing our own schools, more of our own schools. Many brothers out there doing that, but we need to be talking about establishing some of our own schools. K-12, maybe be a K-4 school, a K-5 school, or maybe a middle school, or maybe just a high school, or maybe just K through 12. I don't know, but we need to be doing more of that. In this day and age, it makes no sense whatsoever. We don't have more alternatives to educating our children, alternatives to public school system. Black folk need to just be doing that. Black parents, particularly the men, For every black child that's out there, they got a daddy, and I'm talking to daddy primarily. I'm not saying the sisters aren't important. I'm not saying the sisters aren't doing this. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying to the black men, hey, we got to level up. We got to level up. We're doing, a lot of you brothers are out there doing, oh, you're doing a great job. But guess what? We need more. We need more. And then we need more brothers in education, and we need we just need to be doing more and doing better and doing what we can do in supporting independent black schools of education. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And it starts with having more public discussion about it. I'm going to tell you this, too. We need more black men acting like Dr. Umar Johnson and Booker T. Washington and actually building schools. It's one thing to talk about it, and God knows I'm somebody who loves to talk and read, but it comes to a point where more black men have to actually get in there and do it. Just build it. And then the other brothers, support the best way they can. Financial support, material support, whatever they can. But we need to be doing it. This whole situation with Donda Academy clearly shows that. Man, there's some folks out there, they will attack our kids. They don't give a flip. They don't give a flip. They don't want to say some stupid stuff to us like, oh, they shouldn't be, those parents, black or white, shouldn't be sending their kids to Donda Academy. No, idiot, you shouldn't have been attacking that academy in the first darn place. Who are you to dictate to those parents? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe you have a narrative and an agenda that objectively is not about uplifting black youth. Maybe that's the issue here. But regardless if that's the issue, black man, we need to do for self. That means we need to build our own schools. And we can do, it's the bottom line. I know of one brother, he and his wife did homeschooling, then later she built an online school. I don't agree he's with the Nation of Islam. There's a lot of stuff I don't agree with the Nation of Islam, but daggone it, I agree with that. I support that. I embrace that. I know of another brother. He sent his daughters to an independent school. There was a lot that was happening at that independent school with the curriculum I didn't agree with, but daggone it, I did what I could do to support that school. And those girls, their brother and his wife later put their daughters in a Christian school, independent Christian school. And he kept saying to me, he said, man, they killed that math. He said, they killed their math test, killed it. I said, oh, okay. He said, oh, yeah. There's a brother here in Louisville, black man. He's doing an independent school. He's got about maybe like 6-7 students, and he's doing his stuff. Okay. I know some other parents, black parents, who say, well, we're going to send our kids to Christian Academy. That's the school here in Louisville. Whatever. My point is, as black men, we need to, one, come together and discuss this. What are the alternatives? And what are some things we need to do to help fund those alternatives? And what are some things we need to do as far as starting our own schools are concerned? There's a dearth of black male teachers throughout the United States of America. You don't have them in these, we call them public schools, but they're really government schools. We don't have them. It's too low. There's too few, too few. What's going on there? Well, okay, I get that as an important subject. And I think one time I'd love to have us as black men get together and talk about that. But I also think, you know what? If you're building your own school, boom, you're the teacher. You don't have to go to somebody and say, oh, may I teach? No, you're the teacher. You built the school, you teach. You go do that stuff. You go do that. You go do your thing. So again, this is a podcast. My message is to black men. One thing I am going to be doing in the future is doing a Zoom, I guess you might say a Zoom conference, where we're going to have several black male thought leaders. We're going to come together and talk about this whole Donda Academy situation, Morehouse, what they did, and how some of these companies, stepped up. And at first they wanted to support the academy. They made a commitment to do so. Oops, we don't like what the founder of the academy said, so we're going to withdraw it. And then we have a HBCU, a historically black college and university, attack these kids, unjustifiably attack these kids. There's no excuse for what they did. We're going to discuss that. And we're going to discuss, what's going on about education and black youth. And then we're going to talk about starting our own schools, doing our own stuff, doing for self. So stay tuned. Appreciate you listening to me. Please talk to other black men about what I've raised. Share this podcast with them. And please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to donate, that'd be great too.